Hey guys, I'm Pascal from Orange Pixel, and today I wanted to talk about Gunslugs, the game I'm currently working on. And if you haven't been following this channel for very long, you might not have ever heard about it. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you the state of just a few weeks ago. The game was looking in one way, and if you now look at the new version, it looks like a completely different and new game. And I'm just going to talk to you through why does it look so different, and what have I been changing and doing, and where is the current game. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, let's just dive into the first and the most obvious change ever in the history of game development. This is how the game looked just a few weeks ago. As you can see, it's colorful, it's fun, it's pretty much like Gunslugs 1. I just wanted to change the background a little bit, and this is how the game looks right now. And as you can see, not just the background graphics have changed, also the main character, the enemies. Also redid some of the lighting, because I came to the conclusion that lighting is awesome to have, but light usually means there's also a lot of darkness. So the main elements, the main characters, the items you can pick up, everything wasn't popping out of it anymore. And I really wanted this game to have that Gunslugs feeling, that cartoony, poppy, colorful, vibrant stuff going on. So I changed the lighting system, which was very simple to do. I kept it the way it was, but I moved it to the back. So right now the lighting only has effect to the backgrounds and the buildings and everything in the scenery, and all the main stuff is drawn after all the lighting is done on the screen. So it makes it pop out a lot more. So those are the visual changes, but there have been a lot more changes. You might have noticed there are now also little signal beams going everywhere. So if you make a noise or a sound, there will be a green signal. If an enemy is in alerted mode, so either by hearing a signal or by seeing you, they will have a red signal around them. And this really changes the game, and I hope this also makes the player more aware of playing tactical and not just rushing through the level. This was a problem I noticed with some of the players that have been playing this version. Most of them told me that they're not getting very far. Mostly when I asked them why, it was because they were trying to rush through the level. So I needed to find a way to really slow down the player. And I was thinking that having these signals go off everywhere might actually alert the player that there is something going on and that you need to be aware of what's happening. So as much fun as these circles are, it did require me to completely redesign how the enemies work. They now need to be attracted to points instead of the player itself. So in previous builds, the enemies would just either see you or they wouldn't, and then would attack you or they wouldn't. So right now the big change is that they are not so much moving towards the player, they are more moving towards a hotspot. So if you create a sound somewhere and they are within hearing distance, they will move towards that sound. They will look at it, they will look at the surrounding. If they spot you, they will go back to what they did in the previous version and start attacking you. If they don't spot you and the alert stops or the sound stops, they will just revert back to their normal pacing. This has a big potential for the gameplay, because this opened up a lot of interesting things to create noises instead of using bullets. Which is really great, because I wanted this game to be tactical, and this does open up a lot of tactical ideas that I just need to add to the game, because right now they're not in the game. And this is just done in recent weeks, so there's a lot of stuff I still need to figure out and work out. So right now you can trigger a landmine so that enemies come towards it, make sure you're out of the way, and then the landmine explodes and the enemies will be gone without you having to use any bullets or weapons. There you have some tactical gameplay. So besides those changes, I have a few other things that I want to change. The upcoming weeks I'll be working on the action bar. I don't really like how it works, because if you get the action bar full by doing special attacks or taking out enemies in a special way or from behind with a knife or whatever, the action bar fills up, and if it's full right now you'll be like an action superhero, and you'll be faster than the enemies, and their bullets won't harm you as much, and you can shoot a lot more, and I don't really like it. So I'm gonna change the action bar, and probably if you fill it up, it's gonna be like you can pick from a different set of skills. So like skill points, if the action bar is full, you get a skill point. You can spend it on certain skills, like being able to sneak more, so you will make less sound when you move, or have a better vision so that you can shoot much further and your bullets will fly further, or things like that. I think it's going to be much more interesting. It just requires me to create a full interface for this, but I can rip a lot of those things from Ashworld and just see if it works in this game. The second thing that I wanted to change is the ventilation shafts in the building. Right now you can go into a ventilation shaft and then you magically be transported at the other end of the ventilation shaft and you'll get out of there. It's very confusing if you're playing the game, so personally I really don't use it because I don't like where I end up and things like that, so it needs a lot of work. My main idea is that if you enter the ventilation shaft, you will get another little level showing just the corridor of the ventilation shaft, and you can move around and know a bit where you're moving towards. And I also can hide stuff into the ventilation shaft, like medikits and things like that, so that ventilation shafts have more of a function in the game and it's more interesting to actually go through them. Even though you don't know where you will exactly end up, it's still interesting to check those ventilation shafts out, because there might just be items that you need, which is I think a great change, and that's something I'm going to work on in the next couple of weeks. And that brings us to the end of this video, which is probably good for my voice, because I had a cold for a few days and I hear my voice and it's starting to hurt as I talk. So I'm gonna stop talking and start working on the game again, and I see you guys next week. Bye.